Schools across Arizona are taking another look at their mask policies tonight after a judge ruled the state ban on mask mandates was unconstitutional.
And the court ruling was not limited to mask mandates. Jason Berry is live in our newsroom to tell us what other laws have now been tossed out. Jason?
Well, the court ruling was pretty clear that the Arizona law preventing schools from having a mask mandate was unconstitutional and should be thrown out because of the way it was passed in the state budget. Several other new laws were approved the same way, and they've been thrown out as well. Arizona schools can now decide for themselves whether students and staff should wear a mask. The court ruling comes just days after a new CDC report was released showing that mask mandates work, with schools that don't require masks 3.5 times more likely to have a COVID-19 outbreak.
That's scientific research. It's right there. And that should be enough evidence for these learned folks who run our schools to really make the right choice.
The judge's decision to toss out the ban on mask mandates was based on the fact it was inserted into the state budget when it had nothing to do with the budget, according to the court ruling. Other laws were also thrown out for the same reason. A ban on vaccine requirements at public universities, community colleges, and local governments was tossed out. So was a law on election-related changes that took away the Secretary of State's authority to defend Arizona election law, put new security measures on ballots, and create a task force to investigate alleged social media bias. A law that banned teaching controversial topics at school was also thrown out.
For teachers as facilitators to feel like they're constantly under fire and under scrutiny for even what the kids might accidentally say and who's taking that home and reporting it differently, it's really not a great way to encourage a great classroom.
Governor Ducey's office released this statement. We are still reviewing the ruling, but the decision is clearly an example of judicial overreach. Further action will be taken to challenge this ruling and ensure separation of powers is maintained,
which has been a common practice.
Former state lawmaker Stan Barnes thinks the court's decision to uphold limits on what's allowed in the budget could have a major impact on how Arizona laws are passed in the future.
If the court ruling holds, we're going to go back to more of a simple and pure form of budget making, dealing only with budgets and not with mask mandates or anything else that's extraneous to it.
Now, the Arizona Constitution requires all bills have a single subject, but that hasn't stopped state lawmakers over the years from putting items in the budget that don't really belong. Everyone has sort of looked the other way. This time, however, education groups went to court to object, and they won. And if this case holds up on appeal, it could put an end to a lot of the horse trading for votes and backroom deals we're used to seeing at the state capitol. In the newsroom, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.